Today on the table I have the CZ P07 and the Ruger Security 9. The CZ P07 is about $138 more expensive than the Ruger Security 9. If you are considering purchasing a CZ, now would be the time to do it. They're all getting really cheap. Specs: the Ruger is a lighter firearm. Because the CZ has a threaded barrel, it's longer. The normal model would be very similar in length, but still a little bit longer. Height: without the magazines in it, the CZ is a taller firearm, but that's because of the night sights. If it didn't have the night sights on it, or the suppressor sights I should say, they'd be almost identical in length. Now the capacity on the Ruger is 15+1, the CZ is 17+1, that's because they opted to do an eBay modification on here and give you 2 extra rounds. Unfortunately, you don't get a normal magazine. Both of them that it comes with does have the eBay mod on it, so that kind of sucks. Trigger brake: the Ruger Security 9. Not too bad. This is basically a single action because it cocks the hammer for you and then the trigger just pulls it back a little bit farther. Here's your reset. Right there. And then your brake again. CZ P07. Very nice brake on the single action. This is a double single. Nice heavy double action brake. Here's your reset. Right there. Your take up, your wall, and then a brake. The Ruger, it's almost like a single action only. Basically the hammer's pre-cocked, the trigger moves the hammer just a little bit farther and releases it. So it does offer you a pretty nice brake. My personal preference was single action. I gotta run it cocked and locked. Now the CZ is a double single. What that means is you can decock the hammer and then still be able to pull the trigger. It just automatically pulls the hammer. Plus, with the option of a double single, they do give you a very nice braking trigger on single action. Now, if you're a 1911 fan and you don't want a double single, you just want it to be a straight up single action, you can convert these over to be a safety instead of a decocker. I don't know why you would do that, but that is an option. Ergonomics: the Ruger, to put on the safety, for me at least, I can't do it from my normal shooting position. I have to turn the firearm like this and flip it on. You need to be aware of that because if, like, let's say you're at an indoor shooting range and you put the firearm on safety, if you don't come up with your other hand and put it on and you rotate it, you're swiping anyone over there. Just something to be aware of. Mag release: it's far forward and the button's really small. I can hit it from my normal shooting position, but I'm about maxed out. That's the most I could do. Slide release, and don't tell me it's not because it does have texture on top, is doable, but it's very tough because it's very small and it's gated in. Every once in a while, if it's all the way on, I can't even do it. I am having pretty good luck today though. CZ mag release, totally doable from your normal shooting position. Just like the Ruger though, it's very far forward. It's maxing out about what I can do. Slide release: I can't hit it from my normal shooting position. I gotta cant the firearm, hit it, but it is a nice big fat button, so it is doable. Be careful of that because the ergos on this are just terrible, and they have the decocker right there. So if you were to hit the slide release, come down, and accidentally decock the firearm, is that big of an issue? Probably not, but it is something to be aware of. Both have accessory rails. This is the model that comes with the integral laser. So putting a flashlight or something on it's just not possible because it's going to block your laser, plus then there's just not enough room. I strongly don't recommend getting the version with the laser. One, my personal experience, I have no luck with lasers. I always can pull up my sights and find my sights faster than I can find the laser. I'd rather have a flashlight. Two, you can't turn it on from your normal shooting position. So you'd either have to break this hand off, operate the laser, and then go back down, or cant the firearm all goofy and work it like this. Not ideal. Sights, your Ruger, you get field goal sights. These are not night sights. CZ, you get night sights, but they're suppressor sights. I strongly don't recommend using these unless you are running a suppressor. I go into detail on this in a couple other videos. I'll put a link right here. Now, on the subject of suppression, if you're going to suppress a firearm, this is the wrong firearm to suppress. Because this has a non-circumcised frame, it completely covers the slide. When you shoot a suppressor, your bullet goes out and, gases follow it, and the whole point is the silencer is going to cool down the gases so it doesn't make a loud bang. Well, that puts restriction on there, so you're going to get blowback of the gases. On a normal firearm, like say the Ruger or any other firearm that has a circumcised frame, there's spaces in between the frame and the slide, so that blowback can exit. This doesn't have those spaces. This is sealed up all the way across. So you got a little space in the front. And where's the easiest place to exit? Right there in your face. You wind up shooting a MAGA out of this firearm suppressed, you're going to wind up feeling like a young lady leaving an adult film set. It's just not going to be a good time.
Ooh, that blowback though. Woo!
When you purchase the firearms, the Ruger, you get a cardboard box. You get a second 15-round magazine. You get a firearms lock. Range flag. Owner's manual. And a nice Ruger sticker. The CZ. You're going to get a second 15-round magazine, eBay modded to 17. Firearms lock, your kit to convert it to a safety, changeable back straps, cleaning utensils, owner's manual, and no sticker. Now, would I purchase either of these two firearms? I am a double single fan. I am not a fan of the non-circumcised frame. One, it makes these front slide serrations useless, especially because of the angle they're cut at. So you can do it from the front, but you got to grab the front sight. The biggest argument for a non-circumcised frame is your slide is supposed to have less mass, and it's supposed to give you a lower bore axis. The Ruger has a lower bore axis than the CZ, but the CZ does give you slightly, it's pretty close to the same slide mass, but if it had normal sights on there, it would be slightly less than the Ruger. The Ruger, my personal, just because this is more or less a single action, I would be using the safety, so it's cocked and locked. I can't conceal carry either of these, they're too big, but if I could, I gotta remember to swipe it off safety. Coming off safety is very easy from your thumb, so if you were to hit it, dead trigger, swipe it off safety, and then you could go. But the CZ, where this is a double single, if you decock it, there's nothing to hit. You just pull it out and go to work. The quality of the firearms, the CZ is a higher quality firearm. You get a very nice polish on the feed ramp. Ruger, you do not. I actually do prefer the Ruger magazine more than the CZ. Both have anti-tilt followers, just because this feels more quality. I like the way it looks better. Is it a better magazine? Maybe, maybe not. I think it is, but that may not be true. The ergonomics of the firearm, even though I think the CZs completely suck, I do feel they're better than the Rugers. So, pretending I could actually carry this, I would probably go with the CZ anyway, even though it's got this hammer on there, which is a nasty snag point. As like a nightstand gun, again, I'd lean towards the CZ. I'd keep it decocked, and that's how I'd roll. I do also like the fact that the CZ has a metal trigger. The Ruger, there's a manufacturing issue with the fire control in here. I discovered this. Well, I didn't know that I had done it, but somebody had pointed out that it was a thing, and then I looked back and I'm like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I did. So let's say I'm doing dry practice. I shoot it off on my snap cap or just dry firing it. And I'm resetting the trigger. I don't go all the way back. I just go far enough to reset the hammer. If I pull the trigger right now, for whatever reason, I don't know if the firing mechanism disassembles or a part stretches or whatever, but if I pull the trigger right now, it's going to go click again, and that will be the last time this firearm ever goes click. So that is something you have to be very aware of. If you purchase one of these, always make sure to bring the slide completely to the rear. I haven't had any experience with CZ's customer service, so I don't know whether it's good or not. I have had experience with Ruger's customer service. It's phenomenal. There's two of them that I rank the best right now, Mossberg and Ruger. This is just built more quality. It really is. I mean, not much more, but there is more quality. You can tell in the finish, how the parts go together. So on my nightstand, if I'm going to carry this in a holster, whatever, this is going to be the one I'm going to pick. As a range toy, this would be great. And you could carry this as long as you don't accidentally break the fire control. The overall look of it, the CZ is way better. So I kind of feel like this would actually even make a better range toy. I may even get, the suppressor model just because it looks cooler, even though none of this stuff is functional. I wouldn't run this suppressed. I just wouldn't do it. I don't like night sights or suppressor sights because they're too tall. It makes how you use the firearm so much slower. Normal firearm, you just bring it up, you're good to go. After you adjust to this, it's not too bad, but it is slower because your front sight can hide behind the back sight very easy, just being by slightly off. But you kind of get used to it. Like I said, this does have night sights, but they're the wrong color. That's another disadvantage to the CZ. They're all the same color, so you can accidentally misalign your front sight and then think one of your back sights is your front sight. The CZ, you also get that really nice case. Without a doubt, I think the CZ is the better value here. If you're on an absolute budget and you just can't afford the CZ, the Ruger will work fine as long as you remember about the trigger problem. But if you want maximum value, without a doubt, go with the CZ. But anyways, leave in the comments below which one you would pick and why. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to help support my channel, click on my Patreon. Don't forget to subscribe.